Hi. In this video, we will talk about 14 human foods that are toxic to your dog. As man's best friend, dogs do everything with us: walk around town, ride in the car, play in the yard, and snuggle on the couch. It's natural, then, given how much time we spend with our four-legged companions, to assume they can eat with us, too. However, human food can be dangerous for dogs, even types of food that are completely safe for us. Part of the reason we can eat foods that they can't is that dogs are so much smaller than us. They also weigh far less, which means their bodies can't absorb things as quickly. Foods that are perfectly suitable for human consumption, as well as other animals, may be toxic and even poisonous to your dog, posing a serious threat to their health and well-being, writes Canine Journal co-founder Michelle Schenker.
Why?
Because all animals have very different rates of metabolism. Another problem is that dogs have voracious appetites and don't always know when to stop. Although some foods are not toxic in small doses, larger quantities can be fatal. Signs of food poisoning in dogs can vary widely, but key symptoms include vomiting, diarrhea, dilated pupils, loss of appetite, restlessness, staggering, and disorientation. If you suspect your dog has eaten something toxic, Vets Now recommends never to induce vomiting unless a poison control expert has instructed you to do so. Certain substances can actually cause more damage coming back up and are best left in a dog's stomach. To prepare yourself for a potential incident, always keep your vet's phone number handy, along with an after-hours clinic you can call in an emergency. The ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center also has a hotline you can call for advice at 426. Even with all of these resources, however, the best cure for food poisoning is preventing it in the first place. To give you an idea of which human foods can be dangerous, Stacker put together a slideshow of common foods to avoid. Take a look to see if there are any that surprise you. Number 1. Avocado. Avocados are dangerous to many animals, not just dogs, partly due to a fungicidal toxin called persin. It's generally understood that only high doses of poison are actually lethal, but even more mild symptoms, including vomiting and diarrhea, should obviously be avoided, not to mention the large pits that can be choking hazards. Number 2. Yeast. Eating unbaked bread dough can be extremely dangerous for your dog because the fermenting yeast gets rapidly absorbed in the bloodstream, where it produces enough ethanol to cause alcohol poisoning. Additionally, yeast dough can rise as it moves through the digestive system, potentially twisting the stomach, a situation that can lead to death. Even if the yeast doesn't cause a life-threatening emergency, it can severely bloat your pup's stomach, causing intense pain and discomfort. Number 3. Chocolate. Chocolate is one of the most commonly recognized toxins for dogs. The culprit is theobromine, an alkaloid that can cause cardiac arrhythmias and central nervous system dysfunction in dogs. Dark chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate, and unsweetened baker's chocolates are the most dangerous, while milk and white chocolates have smaller amounts. Toxicity depends on many factors, including the amount consumed and the size of the dog. Number 4. Rhubarb. Although humans love rhubarb pies, the sweet treat can cause kidney failure in dogs due to an antinutrient called oxalic acid. The substance creates crystals in the urinary tract and can cause the kidneys to shut down. Signs of rhubarb poisoning can include drooling, vomiting, diarrhea, tremors, bloody urine, changes in thirst, and other symptoms. Number 5. Citrus oil. While oranges are typically fine for your dog to eat, citrus oil, often used medicinally, is not. This is because of the insecticidal properties of the oil, which can lead to liver failure in dogs. In addition to preventing your pup from ingesting it, you should never rub it on your dog's skin medicinally because they are likely to lick it off. Number 6. Grapes and raisins. No one knows what ingredient or compound in grapes and raisins makes them so poisonous to dogs, but they rank among the most serious food threats. Even small amounts can cause sudden kidney failure, often signaled by your dog ceasing to urinate. Other symptoms include foul breath, loss of appetite, vomiting, and diarrhea. Some dogs are extremely susceptible to grape and raisin poisoning while others can eat them with no problem, something else that confounds experts. Number 7. Milk. All mammals are designed to drink milk from their mothers as infants, gradually weaning off as they grow and transition to water and solid foods. After infancy, it's not uncommon for mammals to experience some level of lactose intolerance when consuming milk products in general, and certainly those from other species. Different mammals react differently, as will individuals within those groups. So while milk is not technically poisonous for dogs, it's worth keeping it on their do not feed list. Some dogs are okay with it, others experience extreme discomfort in addition to potential health problems, especially among certain breeds. Number 8. Xylitol. Xylitol is a sugar alternative found in human foods such as candy, chewing gum, and many baked sweets. It's extremely toxic to dogs, causing rapid insulin release that can put them in a coma within 15 to 20 minutes. Veterinarians may advise feeding your dog syrup or honey on the way to the emergency clinic to boost their blood sugar during the drive. However, you should only do this if you receive instructions to do so. Number 9. Wild mushrooms. While the types of mushrooms you purchase in the grocery store are typically safe for dogs, wild mushrooms growing in your yard or out in nature can be toxic. If you have mushrooms around your house, make sure to pull them up regularly. If you catch your dog trying to eat them in the wilderness, stop them immediately. Number 10. Apples. Although the flesh of apples is not toxic, the seeds can be poisonous due to the presence of a compound called amygdalin. They have to be consumed in large quantities and they must be chewed to be toxic, so a few seeds are unlikely to kill your dog. However, if you plan to feed your dog apples, veterinarians recommend seeding and coring them first. Number 11. Peaches. Although the peach flesh itself is fine for dogs to eat, the pits of peaches contain amygdalin, the same substance found in apple seeds, which releases cyanide. Your pup would have to consume several peach pits to get sick. However, this isn't beyond the realm of possibility if you have a dog who gets into everything. For this reason, it's best to keep peaches out of dogs' reach. In addition to the cyanide issue, the pits pose a choking hazard. Number 12. Currants. This one is tricky because even though true currants are not toxic, many currants sold in the United States, sometimes called Zonte currants, are actually just tiny raisins made from Corinth grapes. These cause the same issues with toxicity that regular grapes and raisins do, potentially leading to kidney failure. Number 13. Mustard. Mustard is not likely to be lethal to dogs in small doses. However, it can be toxic in higher amounts and, generally speaking, it's not a good thing for your dog to consume. In fact, due to mustard's mildly toxic nature, it is often something that's suggested by vets as a way to induce vomiting. The same goes for mustard seeds, which are often used in cooking. Number 14. Green tomatoes. Once tomatoes are red and ripe, they are generally safe for dogs, as long as the stem is completely removed. However, green tomatoes or not fully ripe red tomatoes can be toxic for dogs. This is because of a substance called solanine found in the stems and leaves. If you have a garden where tomatoes grow, it is best to keep your dogs out so they don't chew on the green fruits or their vines.